Okay, so I know you missed me horribly in the 5 seconds that I've been gone, but I like to break up these videos when I do more than one at the same time. Like if I got like different subjects, like I just did this review where I was talking about it wasn't an unboxing because I'd unboxed him from several boxes, but talking about the Solomon Grundy Build-A-Figure from Arkham City. And I got one more DC Multiverse figure to get out of the way today. I still got a whole big stack of these. I'm trying to fight my way through. And next week, I'm going to be doing these Universal Monsters figures. So there's going to be a series of 4 videos where I'm going to be talking about the Universal Monsters figures that I have. I have 3 of the glow-in-the-dark figures, and I have this ultimate version of Dracula. So we'll be talking about Dracula on Monday, and then Frankenstein on Tuesday, and then the Wolfman on Wednesday, and then finally Glow in the Dark Dracula on Thursday. That's my plan. And then I'll probably open up a couple of other things in the remaining days of the week. But today we have Captain Atom from DC Multiverse from Mcfarlane Toys, and for some reason it says Captain Atom New 52. But this is clearly not a New 52. This is a classic Captain Atom. There's I believe that's what he looked like in the New 52. Shout out to Sean Franklin. Today is his birthday, and he mentioned that to me in the Solomon Grundy stream that we were watching. So I want to make sure that Sean Franklin has a happy birthday. He'll probably chime in the comments any minute now, and I'll say it again just to make sure he heard it. So, but he's a longtime viewer, friend of the channel. We always appreciate seeing Sean Franklin around here. So if you're seeing this, wish Sean Franklin a happy birthday. All right, so let's go ahead and open them up. Not a whole lot to say about packaging that we haven't already said, but this is clearly a classic Captain Atom and not a New 52 Captain Atom, despite what the package is trying to tell us. I don't know why Mcfarlane does this sometimes. It's weird. I probably still would have bought a New 52 Captain Atom because I actually don't think that design is too bad. A lot of these like New 52 designs just like seem way too busy to me, and they all have those high collars, and I just don't like the New 52 costumes. But with Captain Atom, I guess like there was really no way they could screw that up. We can't really put extra detail onto Captain Atom because this whole thing is just supposed to be like a metal dude. And if anything, they put less detail onto that one because you see that one is like entirely silver over his boots and gloves rather than having red gloves and blue boots like the Bronze Age design here has. So this is not the original design of Captain Atom. This is the one that DC came up with post-Crisis. Steve Ditko, when he originally designed the character, gave him kind of a golden chainmail type suit that I thought was pretty cool. And then when the Silver Age, well, I guess it still was Silver Age, but during his run on the Silver Age version of the character, at some point decided to redesign him and gave him a new costume where you could see the metal coating his skin over his arms, and then he had like a dark blue leotard over some red tights, and still had like that atomic symbol on his chest. So that's it for those rubber tabs on the figure. There's still stuff holding in these accessories. I think we can just yank those out. All right, so I'm going to set that aside for now because we still got to talk about the trading card and the stand. And they are not on the same bubble, unfortunately. Seems like it'd be cheaper to do it that way, so that would be one other reason to do that. And then the stand, you got to get the stand out of there. Come on. There we go. Every figure should come with a figure stand. Yo, Joe! That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna have a lot more G.I. Joe figures coming up soon because I've been waiting to open up my newest batch until Scarlet showed up, and Scarlet's been lollygagging for whatever reason, but she finally shipped. So I'll have my Scarlet soon, and then I can get on the rest of these GI Joe figures. I got a lot of them coming up. I've got the retro card versions of Duke and Kondo, and I've got Airborne, and I've got the Techno Viper. A lot of cool stuff coming up. Quick Kick. Why are you wanting to get in there? Just trying to condense my garbage down a little bit. But yeah, it's been too long since I've had GI Joe figures to open. I do still have a couple of them that I haven't gotten around to yet. Got was it Wolf Spider? Was that character's name? And I think I might have one other one, but I can't remember which one it would be. It might just be Wolf Spider. I might just have Wolf Spider left, so I might need to get to that. I'll probably do him when I do all the other ones. So maybe to lead into that. So, but yeah, there is more G.I. Joe on the way, and his leg just popped right off. It just came right off, right out of the package, right when I tried to pull him out. All right, we're going to set that aside. I don't think it's broken. I'm pretty sure it's not broken. I'm pretty sure. You see how noisy that was when I pulled that out? All right, so after I cut through the rubber tips. All right, so let's see. This leg seems to be on pretty solid. So it looks like it just popped off of this peg. So we are going to pop it back on. So there we go. And it went back on. It might pop off again, though. It does seem like it's kind of on the weak side. So I hadn't looked too closely at this figure when I bought it. I bought it and I kind of set it aside until I was ready to open it. And going to be making a Real American Hero version of Wolf Spider pretty soon. Well, I will look forward to that. That will be pretty awesome. So yeah, you make sure I subscribe to your channel, and hopefully you'll have it on your YouTube. That'll be cool. So everybody, if you want to see that Wolf Spider, he's doing a Real American Hero version of Wolf Spider. Make sure you sub to Kiwi GI Joe Customs and Collections. So I don't want to miss that, so I'm going to make sure I subscribe. So okay, so the thing that I notice about them when I get them in hand is I was thinking that they probably just painted this whole thing silver, but no, this is actually in silver plastic, and it does look pretty good in the silver plastic, I think. And I'm actually kind of glad of that, because a lot of the times the silver paint can get kind of tarnished, and it can be kind of a very fragile sort of paint. Now, anybody who's familiar with 80s GI Joe figures can tell you silver paint is some of the weakest paint that exists. So they actually did mold him in silver plastic. Now, one thing that I always notice about silver plastic, and I point this out anytime when I'm talking about metallic plastics, is that because of the very nature... there's Sean Franklin. Happy birthday to Sean Franklin. I knew you'd be along shortly. I'd already mentioned it was your birthday, so everybody say happy birthday to Sean Franklin. So yeah, he is pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with him. So yeah, I think he might be painted on his head. It does look like he might be painted on his head. I don't know, so you want to be careful with that. But yeah, he's molded in silver plastic. It looks pretty cool. The thing that I was getting at, I got distracted. With silver plastic, any kind of metallic plastic really, is that just by the very nature of how they make it, it's all these little microscopic metallic particles embedded into a translucent plastic. And that works out a lot better on some figures than it does with others. Now, Captain Atom is a guy who's made out of energy. So I feel like it kind of works almost to give him a glow to his body. I think that works for real. Are you excited about the Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover movie? Well, I got to tell you, I've been a fan of G.I. Joe for as long as I knew it existed. Like, ever since I saw the commercial for the comic book, the first issue of the comic book of G.I. Joe. I've been a fan. Like that was the thing where I saw that, and it just, you had soldiers flying around on jetpacks and firing laser rifles, and it just really captured my imagination. And Transformers, I got in on the ground floor of Transformers too. Again, with the commercial for the comic book of the Transformers, and I saw this truck turn into a robot. You know who that was, and been fascinated with them ever since. And I remember when the first Transformers movie came out, and you had that team of like soldiers led by Josh Duhamel, and Tyrese was in there, and we were like in the audience being like, wouldn't they be cool if they were G.I. Joe? Like, what if Josh Duhamel was Flint, and Tyrese was Stalker, and this was like the origin G.I. Joe right here? That would be sweet. But of course, they went in a different direction with that. So honestly, I kind of feel like Michael Bay might have even been a better choice to direct G.I. Joe than Transformers, since he does a lot of military stuff. And like, you watch The Rock, and that's a pretty good G.I. Joe movie, I think. Like in terms of like the tone and everything you would want to have. I think Predator is actually the best G.I. Joe movie. That's about to be what a G.I. Joe movie ought to feel like. But yeah, so going back to Captain Atom, he is on that standard superhero buck that we see a lot these days, which I am a fan of. And I don't mind, I'll say this every single time, I don't mind a figure reusing parts from other figures as long as they do it in a clever way. And since this is just kind of a basic buck, it's designed for this sort of thing. So you can use it for somebody like the Riddler, or her Captain Atom, or for Nightwing, or for Blue Beetle and Booster Gold, which of course that 2-pack was where we first saw this body. And to me, it's kind of appropriate because, hey, they were all in Justice League International together. Oh, and don't I still have Martian Manhunter over here somewhere? Oh yeah, there we go. So I do not have, unfortunately, Blue Beetle and Booster Gold handy. They're over in my box right now that I have all of these figures stored in. But I will try to, at some point, get all of these together and take a picture with the JLI members that I have so far. And we can also toss in this guy, can't we? So don't they look good together? And can you imagine how good they'll look with Booster Gold in there? And can you imagine how good they'll look with Blue Beetle in there? And can you imagine how good they will all 5 look when we add Guy Gardner to the mix? Come on, Mcfarlane, you gotta give us a Guy Gardner figure. I'm surprised you haven't before. Okay, so but yeah, the silver plastic I think looks really good. The head sculpt looks nice. He's got that kind of slickered back hair. It does remind me a lot of the way that we saw the character drawn in the early Bronze Age comics in his own series and in JLI. So let's go ahead and look at his articulation. Captain Atom can look up about that far. I think his face is painted. It's hard to tell. They did such a good job with this plastic. You look up that far, look down about that far. You can tilt his head quizzically from side to side, rotate his head all the way around. Good range of motion on the head. You can rotate his arms, the shoulders all the way around. He's got the butterfly joints, so the arms can go in about that far, go out about that far. He can raise his arms up about that far. Good range of motion at the shoulders. Put his arms all the way down to the sides about that far. He does have the double jointed elbows. So that's about the range of articulation we got at the elbows. I know we've been over this figure so many times before, but I just want to go over it again for the sake of being complete. Wrist rotate all the way around. Got the cool Mcfarlane ball jointed wrists, so we can move his wrists into pretty much any kind of position we want to. Pretty cool. He has a solid fist and a gripping hand. He's got the cool Mcfarlane torso articulation, so we can move him around. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. That's a good idea. His leg popped off again. This leg is going to be a pain, isn't it? It's just not going to want to pop on right. Looking at it, I think the leg joint actually is a little stretched out. It looks like it might have got warped in the package. So let's see, where's the hair dryer again? keep having to use the hairdryer in the videos. I don't like doing it. So we'll go ahead and maybe if we heat it up a little bit, it'll pop back into shape. A lot of times with this type of plastic, that's what'll happen. And if the hairdryer doesn't work, I can try boiling it. But obviously, that's not going to be on the video. I'm not going to take this phone into the kitchen and wait to boil water. That's just going to have to be something that we do later. Yeah. We'll go ahead and pop it back on. We're just going to try not to move that leg any more than we have to. All right, so leg can kick up about that far, kick back about that far. Again, it's the rubber trunk piece that kind of gets in the way a little bit. You could probably get it to move a little bit further, but I wouldn't leave it like that too long. He does have double jointed knees. That's about the range of motion you get on the knees. And then he has the cool Mcfarlane ankle articulation, so we can move that around any which way we want. Ankle points up about that far, ankle points down about that far, and of course we have the toe articulation because they want to show off. So he does come with a couple of accessories, and it's these blast effects that are going to go over his hands and give him the look like he's generating power through his fists. So let's go ahead and snap those on and see what they look like. And that one snaps on really well. You can almost imagine this being like an atomic punch, like He-Man's Thunder Punch. A lot of those the versions of Thunder Punch He-Man come with that accessory. And then this one can pop over his open hand, and it looks like it's supposed to kind of wrap more around his wrist, so that way it just kind of generates out of there. All right, so there we go with that. So we got one more member of our Justice League International out of the way. Pretty cool. Very happy to have him. So there's a story behind how I bought this action figure. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys real quick. Is that I forgot to point out when I was showing off the box, one thing is that you can see it does have gold label on there. It is a Walmart exclusive, or it was. And I only seen them at one Walmart, which was the Walmart closest to my work. Never saw them at any other Walmart. And for whatever reason, they had gotten in a ton of these things. Like way more than I'd ever seen of any DC Multiverse figure at any one store. And, you know, I kept seeing it and being like, I need to pick that up because I don't want to miss out on it. I know they got a ton of them now, but eventually they're all going to go away, aren't they? And one day they went from like the last time I was in there, they still had a ton of them, to they had absolutely none of them. And what I figured probably happened was that they probably did get marked down, and some scalper came in and bought every single one of them. So I was like, well, guess I missed out on that one. That's my fault for lollygagging on it. I should have picked it up. And then one day, later on, a few weeks later, I went into that Walmart, and by some miracle, I found one more Captain Atom. And I figure it must have been one that had been misplaced somehow, and somebody put it back on the shelf, and it was there waiting for me. And he was marked down to $10. So, so that's how I got that figure. That was a lucky story. So, good times, good times. So I was able to finally get my Captain Atom figure, so that made me pretty happy. I think they ought to do one of these in repainted in the Kingdom Come style. I liked that suit, and of course that one was kind of he made that a red and gold suit as an homage to the original Captain Atom suit, that chainmail one I was talking about that Steve Ditko had originally designed. This one, I'm not sure who designed it. I would guess it was whoever was drawing the solo comic at the time. Was that Pat Broderick, I think? But yeah, this is, when I think of Captain Atom, this is the version I tend to think of, because this was the one I grew up with. I think he's pretty cool looking. Yeah, I like the original Ditko design, and the second Ditko design is okay, but this is the one that sticks in my head. So whether I like the Ditko design best or not, the original Ditko design, the gold one, I like that one an awful lot. I'm not sure if I like that one better than this one, but like I said, this is definitely the one that like I think of when I think of Captain Atom. So that's pretty much it for this episode. No video tomorrow because it's Sunday and I'll be really busy. But I'll be back on Monday, and Monday we're gonna open up this Dracula figure. Now everybody knows how much I love superheroes. Well, I love the Universal monsters almost as much as I love superheroes. Everybody knows how much I love Batman. Batman's my favorite character. Dracula's my second favorite character. So we're gonna have fun with that. So if you want to make sure you don't miss it, please make sure you like and subscribe. All the fun YouTube stuff down below. Leave comment. Let me know what you think about Captain Atom, both the action figure and the character in general. Hit that little bell if you want to be warned anytime I go live. Hit the little bell, and that'll let you know when I go live. And that is pretty much it. We will talk to you next time. Bye.